What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today it's time to highlight some 80s creature features on Blu-ray that you might not know are available, and these are strictly from my own collection. So if there's others out there that I don't know about, please let me know in the comments down below. Let's get into this one. The first one I want to highlight is a 1986 body horror classic from David Cronenberg, and it is The Fly. I love this film. It's a tragic love story where science and mutation take place. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Jeff Goldblum in this movie is on top form for me. The acting is great. You believe the relationship as well, and you believe the hardships that Brundle is going through when he accidentally teleports himself with a fly to the other pod and starts to combine the two. It's brutal stuff. It's disgusting and gross in places. In a lot of places, it's a body horror after all. But yeah, it's fantastic. Just the production design looks great. The actual pods themselves, the engineering for those things to actually they have the doors open and that. It's just it's got a satisfying sounds effects as well with the doors and the mechanical side of things. It's awesome. This film is awesome. This Blu-ray is from the Scream Factory Fly collection box set that you can get. Still readily available. It has all the Fly movies, the original 50s Fly movies, all the way to The Fly 2, which came out after this one. But I wanted to highlight the classic, which is The Fly from the 80s. I love this film. Like I said, it's fantastic. I adore it. Everyone needs to check it out if you haven't. Fantastic creature feature. That's The Fly. Next up is a film that really surprised me by how good it really was. Wasn't really expecting much from this, late 80s creature feature, and it's Slugs. Really enjoyed this one for what it was. It's got some gnarly special effects in it, some gnarly practical effects, really brutal, really awful. The idea of being devoured by carnivorous slugs is pretty gross to begin with. So it does have a certain vibe to it that is kind of part gross and horrifying, but kind of campy as well in places. This goes down that typical kind of Jaws narrative route, where you've got a guy who finds out what's going on, and then he goes to the authorities, and they don't really believe him, they don't care, and they allow it to just carry on. And he has to go out of his way to figure out how he can wipe out these carnivorous slugs. Really fun story, but fun but basic story, I suppose. It's very much Jaws in its kind of like 3-act structure there, but I feel like it's got some nasty kills in it. There's a sequence in a restaurant that is just ingrained into my brain, how just horrifying it is. It's savage, brutal and nasty, and it's the highlight of the film in terms of special effects wise. It looks insanely good, the actual effects for it. What happens to this man in it is so horrible, but it's fucking awesome as well. This film is really fun, so underrated. No one talks about it when people bring up creature features. No one talks about Slugs. It's really fun. It's from 1988, I believe. It doesn't say, but I'm sure it's from like late 80s, 88, 89, something like that. But it's Slugs, really decent. Check it out if you haven't got it. Worth picking up this Arrow release. It's a very nice release from Arrow. Check it out. I've put this here because I talk about this movie ad nauseum, and I can't go and do an 80s creature feature list without talking about Critters. You guys know me by now. If you follow this channel, this is my favourite film of all time. I adore this film. It's a perfect melody of science fiction, comedy and horror, and obviously you have the titular monster in it as well, the Critters. It might be my favourite monster of all time. Behind Godzilla, of course, but I do love the whole idea of these little fur balls with teeth that all they want to do is eat. They've got an insatiable appetite. They eat everything in sight, and they're a little intelligent as well. They can pilot ships and be little bastards, basically. You know what I mean? But yeah, I adore this film. I think everything about this movie is great. The soundtrack just takes me right back to the 80s. The idea of this little farmhouse, this little family, this farmer terrorized by the Critters, is a scary prospect in that idea that They're in the middle of nowhere. They've got no line of, they've got no line of communication to the outside world, to their town, because the critters have, they're smart enough to destroy the phone lines for them, unfortunately. But like, this is just fun. You've got the bounty hunters in this movie. I love the bounty hunters. They're so goofballs, but they're great. They cause more damage than the critters ever do in this film. But I love this film. I adore it. The Power of Night song is iconically bad, but just I can't help but love it. It's so good. I adore this film. My favourite movie of all time. And everyone needs to see it, in my opinion. I think there's something for everybody for this film. This Blu-ray has come from the Scream Factory Critters Collection box set, which is widely available at the moment. I think you can get it from between 30 and 40 quid. I love it. Get the box set, man. The Critters box set is fantastic by Scream Factory. It's well worth your money. It's got tons of features on this. All 4 films have got brand new documentaries for them as well. Completely redone, brand new documentaries. Brought in some of the cast and the crew to talk about Critters. So the box set is so good. This scan is unreal. I don't think this film will ever look any better. And I don't think it's looked as good as this ever. It's the best it's ever looked. So yeah, Critters had to be on an 80s creature feature list, right? Or showcase, I suppose. But yeah, Critters, my favourite film of all time. And to me, it's the greatest creature feature ever made. But that's my opinion. I'm biased there. But it had to be in this video. It had to. I could not leave it off this video. Yeah, that's Critters. Next up is an 80s creature feature that nobody likes. I feel like I'm the only one that likes this movie. It's it's like notoriously got like 4% on Rotten Tomatoes, if you care about that shit. I don't really usually care about that, but that gives you an idea of how hated this movie is. This movie is so bad that I don't know the full story, but I believe James Cameron started directing this film and then he quit like halfway through or something. I can't remember the full story, but James Cameron is credited as the director. Piranha 2, The Spawning. This is a fun movie. It's dumb. It's dumb fun. It's way better than people would lead you to believe it is. Yeah, it's so much fun. The sequel to Piranha, it's not as good as that original movie, of course, but it's just fun. For an 80s sequel, it's just fun, right? Absolutely fun. 1981 this came out. It's just so much fun. I have a ball with it. You just get the piranhas eating people disappearing, people don't know what's going on, and then there's this classic scene of this party happening, and somehow these piranhas learn to fly, and you got flying piranhas. It's brilliant. It's so fun. Do I have the? Oh yeah, and with the 88 films release, you get the original artwork, which used to be, it originally was called Piranha 2 Flying Killer. That artwork is amazing. I'm sorry, but it's amazing. I love it. I love that original poster right there. This is the 88 films release. I'm not sure how readily available it will be with the slipcover, but I do know I think you still can get this from the website 88 Films. It's a great release. It looks fantastic on Blu-ray. It really does. It looks great. But yeah, Piranha 2, I really like this movie. What can I say? Is it kind of bad? I guess so. But is it entertaining as all hell? Damn straight it is. That's Piranha 2. As I said with Critters, I can't talk about 80s creature features without mentioning Critters. I can't talk about 80s creature features without mentioning this next movie. It's up there with my favourites, and it is Frank Henenlotter's Basket Case from 1982. I absolutely adore this movie, and I find that every time I give it a rewatch, I like it even more. And I rewatched this very recently, beginning of the year, and I still fucking love this movie. I absolutely adore it. There's no other film quite like it, and there will never be any other film quite like it, to be frank with you guys. This film is absolutely classic slime ball New York horror creature feature. It's great. It's so good. And it's I don't know if it's intentionally funny, but there's moments in this where some of the dialogue is so weird and wacky that you can't help but laugh at it. It's so great. I adore this film. It's a 9 out of 10 movie. It's like almost a perfect movie for me. This is the US exclusive Blu-ray from Arrow Video. It is still available from the US Arrow website. However, the slipcover version is long out of print, and I paid, some would say, a bit too much for this version to get the slipcover, but I don't care. I love this movie. I'm going to pay whatever I need to pay to get this slipcover, because the slipcover is beautiful. Look at it, yes. Yeah, this looks incredible on Blu-ray. It really does, guys. It looks absolutely remarkable. Comes with the original poster art. It's got reversible art as well, which is just Belial just lunging at you right there. It's got the booklet with it, which is always good. I can't guarantee the standard version will have the booklet, because I think it's just for the special edition that came out with the slipcover. So just to let you know by there. But yeah, the standard version of this on Blu-ray is still available on the Arrow website. I implore everybody, if you love this movie and you haven't picked up this Arrow version yet, do yourself a favour. Even if you're in the UK, you can go straight onto the Arrow US website, and it's like $2 to ship it. Like, it doesn't cost much extra at all. And I was really surprised by that, actually. Hello, future Jason here. Yep, in editing, of course. Since I filmed this video, Arrow has announced the basket case at 4K for the UK. So this lovely slip that I show you in this video, which is the US version, will be getting that same version in the UK. So if you're from the UK, you can now grab this awesome release on 4K from Arrow Video. So yeah, ignore everything I just said. It's still really a great Blu-ray, and I'm sure the 4K is going to be great. But I thought I'd just interject here to let you know that you don't have to go to the US website anymore. You can just pre-order it right now on the Arrow UK website. So yeah, back to past me in this video. Bye bye. Next up is another film that I've kind of spoke about ad nauseum, I suppose. Alligator. It's a great 80s creature feature. The practical effects are really cool. The alligator looks awesome. The 4K is amazing, and it's got the original artwork. It's awesome. This is getting harder to find with the slipcover, and even without the slipcover, it's getting to a point where it's a bit pricey. There is going to be a UK release from 101 Films that has both Alligator and its sequel, but I do think they're both Blu-ray. I could be incorrect, because I pressed pre-order as quickly, super quick when that was announced. I didn't actually look what it was, whether it was like Blu-ray or not. But I think it's Blu-ray. I'm hoping it's 4K, because that'd be awesome. But yeah, if you just want it on a high definition format, it is coming to the UK on Blu-ray from 101 Films. But if you want the 4K, you'd be looking at spending a good £40 to £50 for this one. Especially if it has the slipcover, you'd be spending more money. But that's Alligator. I love this movie. Next up is a film I haven't really spoke about that much, because I've only seen it a couple of times. Really enjoyed this film, but it is super sleaze. It's as sleazy as you're going to be, really. It's a Roger Corman film, so you know it's going to be sleaze. Humanoids from the Deep. This film is really fun. It's about these gross fishmen monsters coming out of the sea and trying to mate with the town's women. It's gross. Sounds gross. It is kind of gross, but it's a really fun movie. Really fun. It's got that grimy, gross kind of vibe to it. The fishmen suits look fucking awesome. I don't know if you can see one of the screenshots of one of them there. I don't know. But yeah, the actual like the fish monster men in this look awesome. The suits look fucking great. Really enjoyed this one. Just like Alligator and Basket Case, don't expect to get this slipcover with this anymore. I've seen it quite readily available just on its own in my local HMVs in the UK. Like, you can get this fairly regularly. But the slipcover is long out of print. I'm very lucky to get this when I did, because it's like a nice velvety slipcover. It's really nice, guys. I do recommend it though. Like, even if you just get the standard Blu-ray without the slipcover, it's usually on sale a lot. 88 Films have a lot of sales in HMV and stuff, like 2 for 15 and that. So you probably can get a good deal on it at some point. And I highly recommend it if you want just like sleazy, grimy kind of creature feature from the 80s. This is definitely one to look out for. I really like it. It's from 1980. It's really fun. I enjoy it a lot. That's Humanoids from the Deep. No creature feature would be complete without talking about the greatest action film of all time, in my opinion. I wasn't going to showcase this Aliens, right? Because some people consider it to be more of like a sci-fi action film, but I still feel it's a creature feature because it's about a creature, the xenomorph, of course. I wanted to go for more kind of obscure titles in that line there, hence why I haven't included stuff like Gremlins, more mainstream stuff. But I thought I'm going to showcase Aliens because I want to showcase this actual specific edition that's on Blu-ray. This is super readily available on eBay for about 20 quid. It's not expensive. There is a version of Alien just like this, the 40th anniversary of Alien, that is quite expensive, unfortunately, because I want to get them both because I want them to match. But I am dying for a 4K for Aliens. The fact that we get stuff like Terminator Genesis on 4K, whatever it is, one of the shitty Terminator films on 4K, and we don't get Aliens or Terminator 1 is an absolute travesty. This edition really can tide me over. I might find that I don't really want the 4K by the time it comes out, because this version is just great. It looks awesome on Blu-ray. This version has a nice kind of postcards and that inside. This box is just, it's rigid, it looks nice. The artwork is fantastic on it. Yeah, I really recommend going out to get this edition. If you love this movie like I do, it's my favourite action film of all time. If you love this movie, go and get this edition. It's fantastic. But that's the final Blu-ray in this video. That is Aliens. That is the 30th anniversary edition Blu-ray with a nice box. So yeah, go and hunt this one down, guys. It's worth the buy. 20 quid is definitely worth a buy. That is Aliens 30th anniversary. So that's it, guys. That is my video for 80s creature features on Blu-ray. Obviously, there's loads more I could have included here. Maybe I'll do a part 2 down the line. As always, let me know any or all of your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, guys, I will see you next time, I suppose. Bye.